Welcome back to this 6-part journey through all things AI. If you've been following along, you'll have picked up a recurring theme: change. And today we're talking about a change that really hits close to home for most of us: work. You've probably seen it in the headlines or chatted about it with friends. Maybe you've even thought it yourself after seeing yet another AI tool doing something eerily similar to your job.
Will AI take my job?
It's a fair question, a big one. But before we panic, let's slow it down and take a proper look. Because yes, AI is changing the workplace, but it's not just about jobs being taken away. There's another side to the story, and it's all about adaptation, opportunity, and creating new roles that didn't exist even 5 years ago. Let's start by looking at how jobs are being affected. Economists often group jobs into 3 broad categories when it comes to automation. First, there are jobs that are most likely to be automated. These are the ones with repetitive, rule-based tasks that don't vary much day to day. Think data entry, basic customer service, or processing invoices. Then there are roles that are being helped by AI rather than replaced. These are roles where AI acts more like a really smart assistant than a full-on substitute. Lawyers using AI to sift through legal documents, marketers who get AI to generate 10 headline options in seconds. The human is still in charge, but they've got a turbocharged sidekick. And finally, there are jobs that are much harder to automate. These are the ones that involve emotional intelligence, creativity, cultural nuance, or hands-on work with people or physical environments. Therapists, electricians, teachers, childcare workers. These roles rely on human presence and judgment in ways machines can't easily replicate. Most of us realistically fall somewhere in the second group. We're not going to be replaced, but our jobs, they might look quite different soon, and we'll likely have some form of AI working alongside us. Now let's look at some examples where AI is already making its presence felt. Customer service is a big one. AI-powered chatbots are already handling millions of queries daily. They don't get tired, they don't get flustered, and they can work 24/7. Legal work is shifting too. AI tools can read thousands of documents in the time it takes a human to skim one. That changes the game for paralegals and junior legal researchers. Even voiceover work is evolving. AI voice cloning has started to show up in training videos and corporate explainers. You might be hearing a machine and not even know it. Finance, of course, that's another big one. Analysts are now using AI to read reports, spot trends, and forecast movements faster than ever before. But here's the thing. Even if AI can do a task, it doesn't mean the whole job disappears. Most jobs are a bundle of tasks. AI might take a few tasks off our plates, but not all. So it's more about reshaping than replacing. And let's not forget, AI isn't just cutting jobs, it's creating them too. Just like the Industrial Revolution brought factory supervisors and engineers, or the internet brought us web designers and social media managers, AI is generating new careers. Have you heard of a prompt engineer? That's someone who knows how to talk to AI systems, crafting the perfect questions to get the best results. It's more art than science, and it's becoming valuable. There are also AI ethics experts. These guys make sure that AI systems behave responsibly, checking for bias, fairness, and alignment with human values. Then there are people who train the AI. They label data, correct errors, and teach models to behave better over time. We're talking real human involvement in shaping machine learning. And of course, someone has to make sure the models run properly. AI operations specialists are responsible for keeping everything moving in the background. Even in creative fields, there's room. People who know how to refine, interpret, or present AI output in a human-friendly way are going to be more important than ever. You're also going to start seeing a surge in roles that sit between tech and people. Facilitators, explainers, storytellers. These are people who bridge the gap between what the AI does and how it fits into a wider narrative. Think of someone helping a charity use AI to analyze data and then telling the story of how it helped real people, or someone inside a business interpreting AI output and shaping it into a strategy presentation for the board. These roles might not have existed 10 years ago, or even 3 years ago, but they're emerging because we still need people who can translate complexity into clarity. And that's a very human skill. We're also seeing the rise of AI consultants, professionals who help organizations integrate AI into their operations. They don't just plug in the tools, they understand the culture, the workflow, and the unique challenges of each business. Then tailor AI solutions that make sense. This blend of tech and human insight is quickly becoming one of the most sought-after skill sets. Equally, educators and trainers are stepping into new shoes. They're no longer just teaching the old curriculum, they're teaching us how to use AI responsibly, how to question it, and how to coexist with it. A new type of AI is emerging, agentic AI. It doesn't just react, it acts on its own. We all know about Siri or Alexa. Ask a question, get an answer, helpful but limited. Agentic AI systems, often called AI agents, are something else entirely. These aren't just passive tools waiting for commands, they're proactive. They set goals, they make plans, and they get stuff done. Imagine having a digital assistant that doesn't just remind you about a meeting, it checks your email, reschedules your calendar, and gathers meeting notes, and books a lunch spot after. These agents can monitor your inbox overnight and respond to routine messages. They can track competitor websites, summarize changes, and suggest actions. They can work across platforms, filling out spreadsheets, sending emails, managing databases. And companies are already building them. OpenAI, for instance, has agents that can browse and book flights. Zapier is integrating AI into its automation tools. Adept has a system that can operate real software just by understanding your voice. Of course, they're not without their challenges. They make mistakes. They need supervision. But this is a big step forward. We're moving from ask and receive to here's the outcome, no prompting needed. One day soon, we may find ourselves giving AI agents a weekly target and letting them get on with it, while we focus on higher value human problems. Not because the agent is smarter, but because it's efficient, it's tireless, and it leaves us with more time for the things that require empathy, ethics, or creativity. But let's not get too carried away. There are still plenty of things AI just cannot do. Empathy is a big one. AI can mimic caring language, but it doesn't feel anything. It doesn't understand the complexities of human emotion. Conflict resolution, cultural nuance, these are areas where human judgment shines, and they're incredibly hard to encode into algorithms. Jobs that involve deep listening, moral choices, creativity rooted in personal experiences, these jobs are still very human. Teachers, therapists, coaches, community leaders, even when tools exist, people often want the human connection. And that's not going away anytime soon. That leads us to the most important idea of all. It's not about humans versus machines, it's about humans with machines. As touched upon previously, doctors are using AI to review scans. It boosts accuracy, but no one wants a diagnosis from a robot alone. Writers use AI to generate rough drafts, but they still need to shape the narrative. Designers use AI to get ideas flowing, but the final polish is all them. The sweet spot is speed and scale from the machine combined with judgment, nuance, and values from the human. To get there, though, we need to evolve. We need to learn. That means developing a new kind of literacy. You don't need to be a programmer, but you do need to understand how these tools work. It also means sharpening your critical thinking. AI will give you answers, but are they the right ones? Can you tell? Adaptability will be key. The tools will change, they already are. The ones we're using today will feel quaint in 5 years. And finally, collaboration, not just with tech, but with each other. Some of the best results come from a mix of perspectives, human, machine, and team. This is where governments, schools, and businesses come in too. They have a role to play in helping workers make the transition. But individually, we can start now, learning, experimenting, and staying curious. Let's zoom out for a moment. Electricity changed everything. So did the telephone. So did the internet. Each time people asked, what happens to my job? And each time we figured it out. We learned new skills, We redefined roles. We created new industries. The same story is unfolding with AI. It will impact jobs, but that's not the whole story. The important bit is how we respond. So if you're feeling a bit uncertain, that's totally normal. But don't stop there. Use that feeling as a motivator. Get curious, learn something new, explore the tools, find out where you still bring something uniquely human to the table. In the next episode, we're going to talk about what happens if we get it wrong. The risks, the ethics, the what ifs. See you there.